Welcome, everybody, boys and girls, to the For Paradise podcast. I am joined today by Cynic Dan and Dio. Introduce yourselves, fine gentlemen. We got Cynic Dan in the red, Dio on the white and red. I don't.
Well, who are you pointing at? Me? Or you pointing at me?
I'm pointing at both of you. I don't know. Just gonna go with it. Okay, I'm your host, Zyphoid. You know, I'm just here hosting. Okay, before it gets too awkward and we run out of stuff to say, why don't we start off with our topics? And our first topic is going to be,
Underrated.
yep, underrated TV shows and anime or movies. All right,
All right. Do you want me to start off?
let's start off with you. Go for it.
All right. Where's the camera at? Right here?
Yeah, you're looking at it. You're looking at it. Just look straight ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, you guys know about Paranoia Agent, right? I showed you both Paranoia Agent. I forced you.
Yep, yep.
Do you guys remember the twists and shit like that? You know.
Yep, nice little psychological horror with some questionable scenes. You know,
Some questionable scenes.
in your
And I call the like it's very underrated. I've never seen. We watched all those anime openings and there was like zero of anything from Satoshi-kun because I mean he only had a 9 year. You know, it was only in anime from 1997 to 2006. That's 9 years. He made one anime in that time and 5 movies. That's fucking oof. Especially for the impact that he made on people. You know, he inspired Inception, right? And he inspired what was that movie? The one with the ballet, Black Swan. It was Black Swan. They use shots from Perfect Blue and Blue Swan or Black Swan. It's actually people call it a ripoff. And obviously with Paprika, was it? Was it Paprika? There's plenty of shots you can take from Paprika and then put it right into Inception. I'm still distraught about that. What
right.
did you think of the anime, Dio?
Honestly, like in my opinion, it's a very interesting take on the psychological horror, and honestly left me at some point confused, baffled, but that's to be expected. It did those things very well. Oh no,
Yeah. How about you, Zai?
Yeah, I enjoyed it mainly because the whole time with all the main characters that they introduced you to, and with the whole premise of the story being behind uh, the antagonist who may or may not exist, um, and how I don't know how people acted based on uh,
Little Slugger.
Little Slugger before and after events took place, and when Little Slugger gets involved in them. Um, but
And at the end, you're still wondering, is Little Slugger real or not?
right, and
It may point you to a definite answer, but you know, just based on the ending of them looking at each other, smiling, turning away, while they're lying. Well, no, actually, at the ending, everyone's telling the truth, and it's still having the same effect as if they're lying. So
right,
it's
right,
almost like nothing's changed.
yeah, but
That got me for a loop, especially.
I mean there were a couple questionable
Well, we'll move
scenes.
on to not to the next topic. To what was it? Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder.
We just save that for later. I'm
Well,
just gonna say it's a very underrated movie. We'll get to it later.
yeah, for sure, for
But,
sure.
something else. More Satoshi-kun's work for anime, at least. We're still on the topic of anime. But I mean, there's Paprika, which, I mean, that was one of the worst things I've ever watched. I watched it with Dio. What'd you think of it, Dio?
yeah, I'd say it's one of the weaker anime that he produced. It's
Well, it was a movie.
a movie, yeah. You know what I mean?
And
But
you're the only one who watched Perfect Blue with me.
yes, that's true.
I don't think I could. I'm gonna watch it again with Zai, but go ahead, talk about it. Well, you want me to start off?
I think you should start off on this one.
Okay, alright. Well, Perfect Blue is about about a story of what was that, J-pop? A J-pop star going mad because she thinks that the only reason that she was doing popular is because she was the lead of a J-pop band. But then she started losing her mind and started seeing when she was acting that she was filthy and she, kind of needed to be cleansed. And everyone that ruined her career ended up dead, and she didn't know if she killed them or someone else did. There's a red herring guy in the movie, it's kind of weird, but I actually enjoyed them out of the 3 movies that we watched. 2 movies? We only watched 2 of his? Paprika. Yeah, I think we only watched 2. Paprika was definitely the worst movie by far. Perfect Blue had me. Perfect Blue had me the whole time. The whole time I was invested. It was fun. I'm going through the couch here, but I can't really do anything about that. If we're getting off the topic of anime, though, I'd say movie-wise, there would be Jacob's Ladder later. There would be you know about the Naked Gun trilogy?
I'm not too familiar with that one. Can you enlighten me?
First, that's it was made by the people who made Airplane. First of all, Airplane, underrated movie, as all hell. That was a great movie with some stellar acting.
By stellar, I assume you mean less than stellar.
It was. It's a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, really? Wait, actually?
It's good.
Oh, dang, okay.
Oh yeah. Me, Dial, and our editor Aggro. Hey Aggro. Put a little cheese it here.
Alright. You might have to put a little cheese it in there. Oh well.
Cheese it right.
Alright.
Cheese it right.
I know you kind of told us to move off the subject of anime, but I kind of want to give my piece on some underrated stuff. Reincarnated as a slime.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I had to say it.
I gotta watch that with you.
Yeah, so it's really good.
Do it tomorrow.
It's another, anime. Has a pretty classic take on concept where, someone in the human world dies, gets reincarnated into a new world that is like an MMORPG kind of style anime, but this one's different because you watch this guy in his normal life, living just living out his normal life, and then out of nowhere, dude gets stabbed right in the gut by some dude with a knife.
You're talking about ReZero, right?
No, I'm talking about Reincarnated as a Slime. No. ReZero is different because he doesn't actually die when he goes to the other world in ReZero. He's just put into the other world. But in Reincarnated as a Slime, the main character actually gets stabbed and killed and reincarnated into another world, and he's given a special ability that basically allows him to... he gets a special skill called Sage. Is that what it's called? Great Sage. That's what it's called, Great Sage. And it's basically like a computer, like AI thing in his head that just gives him information on pretty much anything, and it can analyze anything. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. But you watch as he goes from just being put into this world with this overpowered ability that allows him to acquire other overpowered abilities. And he befriends a dragon in the beginning scenes. And he doesn't really play any big part until later in the story, but he eventually leaves the area that he started off in after he learns how to use some of his abilities. He goes out into the forest of Jura, is what it's called. Comes across a clan of goblins. And basically, when he shows up, this dude has consumed so much power within the area that he was in and emits so much power that they immediately bow down to him. And he was kind of confused at first, but he was like, okay, well, I guess I'm stronger than everybody here. He kind of protects everybody in the village from dire wolves. And they basically see him as his leader. And from this point on in the from this point on in the story, it's basically just him building a society from scratch, and it's really cool to watch.
Society.
Yeah, so he goes from, having absolutely nothing to showing up at this small village, and then from there he just meets a bunch of other characters, builds on his village, which turns into a town and then a city, and it's just really cool watching the characters develop, and yeah, it's great. Recommend. 10 out of 10. Every time.
You know what you get? You know what you get, Si?
What do I get?
You get what you fucking deserve.
uh, have you seen the new Joker movie? You saw it, right?
Oh yeah, I have. With Robert De Niro
Yeah.
and Joaquin Phoenix.
Yep. Yep.
That one's good.
I did enjoy that one more than I thought.
When he goes up to Bruce Wayne's dad. He's like, "I'm your son." Nah. Oh shit. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
What does he end up being though? I don't even know. The movie was a mindfuck, but I loved it. But you know that like the Joker memes that came out after that were just like,
just
sometimes
so many.
appreciated.
Yeah.
But that's how legends are born. Shit like that. That's how a cult classic is made, I guess. I'd say Joker was not a cult classic. It made way too much money.
Oh yeah. All right, should we move on to the next topic?
What's our next topic? Yes.
Our next topic is going to be nostalgic commercials. This is a pretty good one.
Oh yeah.
I think something everybody can kind
Should we
of
talk,
relate to.
Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll start off. Something that just, I don't know, the song, I think it's mainly the song was really catchy and it's stuck in my head. But it's the Zoo Pals commercial. The like paper plates with the animal faces on them. You know, oink, oink, Zoo Pals. That one. Yeah, I just remembered that commercial would play non-stop.
We had some in our cabinet all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I had I think a pig, a cat, and was it a tiger? I think it might have been a pig, tiger, and a rhino?
Yeah, no, they had all those, yeah.
Just know that I had it.
I recall those, yeah, 100%. But yeah, for me, it's 100% the song. The song got stuck in my head. It's just so catchy. And they played it non-stop on, like, everywhere. Cartoon Network, I watched a lot of Cartoon Network. I think I saw it a lot on there.
If we're talking about mostly nostalgic commercials, you ever heard of the one commercial with the Capri Sun where everybody turns into like water after they drink it?
The Kool-Aid commercial?
No, it was Capri Sun.
Oh, Capri Sun. Oh yeah, where they're like trying to.
The liquid and then fly through the sky.
Yeah, so they like try. They're trying to
Have you seen that
get the
parody
last.
commercial?
I don't think so. No, I don't think I've seen the parody.
They're basically just running around as kids and they just drink it. And then it's like, then they go to a football field, but they're water and shit, and they're just like, wow. And then there's world famous football guy, John something, I don't remember.
John Madden.
Wow. And they form together like to win the commercials, and they come out an ugly mess of blood and guts everywhere.
Oh my god. That kind of reminds me of the. That reminds me of the.
Spits acid on a kid's face and he starts bleeding.
That reminds me of the Go-Gurt commercials. You know, where they're trying to get the last little bit out of the Go-Gurt tube, and then they like, as soon as they like slurp it all up, then they just like turn into a flat piece of paper or whatever. I don't know.
Danimals Crush Cups, man.
Danimals? Heck yeah.
You remember the Crush Cups, bro? Just those were stupid. I love those things, though.
Yeah.
You ever had one, Dial?
Can't say that I have.
What do you eat?
Food. Just not those.
Of course.
Food? Oh, you eat food? Look at this guy. He eats
What do you
food.
got going on?
This dude eats food. What do you know? I'm sorry.
Do you have a pack of Gushers with you? Did you squeeze out the juice from the Gushers and put it in a little glass? And
right, what about you, Dio? What's a nostalgia commercial for you that you've seen?
Nostalgic. Well, like, I didn't really watch too much TV as a kid. But the one thing that, like, when I try to think about it, the one thing that always pops up in my mind is the freaking Chia Pets. The
Oh, okay.
Chia.
Yeah, classic.
Chia.
Yeah.
Oh, and remember they had they came out with the Trump one around his presidency.
Did they really?
They did?
Yeah, you don't know about that? Oh shit.
I know they had
I'll
a.
send it to you on Discord later.
I know they have a Ronald Reagan one.
Put it up on. You can put it up on screen right here.
Yeah. You know, when I remember when they would show the commercials, the main thing that I remembered was always like they always showed off like the Garfield one, and like stuff like that. Just
Oh, yeah.
any pop culture stuff.
Joe Biden one.
The Joe Biden.
They have a Joe Biden one, but it never grows.
That's funny.
You remember the owl?
The owl? Are you talking about? You're talking about the Tootsie Pop
Tootsie
commercial.
Yeah, just like 1, 2, 3. The kid was like, "Motherfucker, would you?"
Not quite what he says, I don't think, but close enough.
He didn't say anything. It just zooms in on his sad face as he pulls back the stain.
Yeah.
He's plotting a revenge plan. That's why there's no sequel.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, and then he just munches that shit.
How many licks does it take to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world might never know. I actually tried it one time, but I chopped it on the ground after like a few hours. I was outside. It was during fall. I was raking the leaves. I was just.
Really, it took a few hours.
Yeah, it takes longer than you think it would, dude. It really does.
Yeah. And another thing I want to know is like, does it matter like technique? Is there like a
No.
technique with your tongue that you gotta like, yeah, I don't.
You would know.
Hey. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm just saying, maybe it's got technique to it.
Dial, can you demonstrate?
Demonstrate. Oh, well, you gotta. You just gotta, you gotta do the.
I'm sorry.
It's
There's no time.
oh man.
What's our next topic?
Alright, yeah, what are we at? Why don't we move on to the next topic, which is going to be saddest movies. Alright, so now we get to talk about Jacob's Ladder. Yeah. I'll start off, yeah. God, what an emotional roller coaster, honestly. Because at first, you don't, like, it makes you think you know what's going on, but, like, it starts off with the whole beginning when they're in the Vietnam War. They're taking fire from the enemy.
I
And
still got that image in my head. I can't show it up on screen. No, I'm just kidding.
no, don't do it. It's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal.
Replace it with the furry uwu, please, right here. Someone else has to hold their hands up.
Nah, I got it here. Right here. Wow, that was bad. That was pretty horrible.
We love you, Aggro. We love you. Love you. Don't you?
We all love aggro.
We all love aggro. That's right. But yeah, no.
Yes, we do, Dio. We love Aggro.
At first, it seemed like the movie was just about a guy who, went to the Vietnam War. They took on fire, went through a traumatic experience, and it was just the after effects of, post-traumatic stress disorder
Right.
and how he was, dealing with it through his, his daily life. But then it transitions to another scene where he's with a different girl, and like we're introduced to his son, and that was really sad. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I remember when we were watching it, I was like, please don't. When spoilers, the car rolled up on the bike like it was he was in the hood.
Yeah.
I remember being absolutely distraught, shit like that. He said he didn't see it coming. I thought it was his brother or something like that, but no. I remember the movie absolutely tore me to pieces. Fucking lord.
Yeah.
Oh, at the end I was just a mess. I still got blood from my nose on my bed. Oh Jesus. It's all over my fucking bed. But there was there was water like leaking off my bed into the fucking floor, shit like that.
Yeah.
I was an emotional mess the whole time. That ending really got me. It was a sad, happy ending. It was bittersweet, I'd say.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most confusingly great endings in history. And thing is, that's the reason why the film has scored 73, was it?
It was like a 70 something on
I'll have
Rotten
Eggo
Tomatoes.
I'll have Eggo put it up somewhere. But yeah, no one trusts Rotten Tomatoes, sure. But I would say that movie should have gotten 100, to be honest. That was an absolutely beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Now the remake, do you know what score that has on Rotten Tomatoes?
What's that?
4%.
That is just. That is laughable.
They
That's
changed.
horrible.
It changed the meaning of the movie
Oh yeah, like
entirely.
the ending was very symbolic of I'm not gonna spoil it here on the podcast, but it was very symbolic, very sad ending. It it broke my heart.
How about you, Di? What's the saddest movie you've ever seen?
Well, like, honestly, like, I might have to agree with you guys about the Jacob Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder.
Like, it's honestly one of those hard hitters that it's a really real emotional roller coaster.
It is quite possibly one of the greatest movies I've ever watched. But also, I'm not allowed to watch it again. Sorry. He won't let me watch it again.
Yeah, no, I'd say that one's pretty.
What's your thoughts on it, Agro? Write it on his forehead.
You don't got to do that. There's no need to write it on his forehead or anything. Yeah, that was that was a sad one. I don't know, like as far as sad movies go, there's a lot of sad movies, but if I had to pick out one that stuck out to me, it was a movie I watched as a child called Homeward Bound. Have you ever seen that movie? Homeward Bound? It's a Disney movie, I'm pretty sure.
With the cat and the cat
And
the
the
dog.
dogs. Yep. Yep. The dog chase.
I did. It has 4 sequels.
4 sequels? I've only seen the first movie. Jeez.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just
Don't
remember
think
as a
about it too
kid,
much, though.
it was like
We had to watch them.
really, really had me sad as a kid. Like, and I had a dog at the time, so I was like, oh, my heart, it hurts.
I know how it feels. No worry. And our editor does too.
Yeah.
You can say anything you want about it, Agro. I understand if you don't want to. But I would like to address that fact that yes, I did have a cat that ran away. Quite a few, but one his name was Butterball, I think. I don't know why I'm saying I think, but I do.
Yeah.
He ran away just as we got him. He acted like a dog. He started spraying on things, fighting the other cats, growling, which is kind of impressive. But he would be marking territories, stuff like that. He came back fierce, beating up everyone. It was something tells me he was just born for the wild. We had to well, we didn't let him go. He went on his own.
Gotcha.
Sooner or later, we would have put him out in the wild.
Yeah. And yeah, when it comes
He
to
was an
pets,
outside cat.
throughout my life I've had 4 pets total. And that's my 2 dogs, my 2 cats. Both my cats are still alive, but unfortunately, both my dogs did pass away. Miko and Katie. Katie, she was just an old dog, ended up dying of cancer that spread to her lungs. That was really sad. And then Miko died of liver failure after eating an entire bag of almond cookies that were left on the counter. And he died Christmas morning. But yeah, pretty rough. But I loved them both. They were both really good dogs. Our next topic that we will be reviewing today is going to be hobbies. Hobbies. What hobbies do you have?
Oh,
Danny?
Oh yeah, you can just call me Danny. Um, drawing, writing poems, and psychological horror. I actually wrote something that was kind of like Jacob's Ladder before it, so I stopped when I realized that it was a little similar. So I felt like it would be plagiarizing since the movie is 30 something years old, 31. But about my drawings, I used to make cartoons, and it would have they were kind of funny. I think I showed you guys. I had one that was all about about a guy who was different from everyone else, and he was always trying to reconcile with people he knew. But he had his pupil leaked leaked the fluid into the rest of his eye, and that's why his eye was white. And his what is this called around the eye? The the white part.
Oh, just the white of your eyes?
Uh,
I don't know.
hmm
I don't know the
Yeah,
proper
that
term
part was
for it.
well, that part was blue, so he was made fun of for not just that, but because, well, since it was a comic, I had to make it cartoony. So I didn't erase any lines when I made a mistake, just to say that whenever you make a mistake, it's okay, and you shouldn't have to worry about it.
Oh,
It's pretty deep. I really liked it.
yeah.
I also made a series on it recently. I think I just called it. Was it odd? It was called Oddbow, which is odd, then odd backwards, like from a mirror standpoint. And I would make one side black and the other white, and then gray in the middle. As again, that's a kind of a racial thing. I just I didn't think we should be fighting about it. God, I was way too progressive of a kid. But that whole thing was all like he lives in the forest, and he lives with a ranger, a water bottle called water, his high school bully because it's rent free. He can just live there. Well, Ranger Rick, and I think that was it. But the sun talks, the clouds talks, the trees talk, all that. You could just talk to anyone in there because it's kind of like a safe space for them. So they're imagining, or at least Oddbow is. Oddbow, Rick, Mata. The bully doesn't really see any of it though. It was mostly comedy, but there were some serious parts in it.
Gotcha, gotcha.
There has to be. Just like the funny episode. There was a really funny episode where I would just have the bully, uh, who's I would just have him record everyone, and when he recorded Bo, that's his name, the guy who gets bullied. Bo, it's odd backwards. That's why it's titled Oddbow. It's. But he would just be recording him, and he said he would hate the fact that he's not appreciating nature more, taking pictures of nature instead of things that make him laugh. So and then he got beat up.
Oh,
Because he tried to take his phone away from him. And at the end of the episode was the first time I ever made that character say sorry for something he's done. And then everyone was like, "He said what? He said sorry? I'm sorry? Sorry? I'm super sorry." But then he exploded.
oh,
Kamehameha. He Kamehameha'd everyone's ass. Let's go.
nice.
You can tackle serious topics with having funny add-ons to it. It's great. That was the best comic I ever released because of the messages behind it, things that people don't understand when they just look at a funny comic with a little bit of a serious tones, they just don't understand. And that's what I like about things Jacob's Ladder and Paranoia Agent. There is deeper meaning.
Right. Yeah.
I also like to write stories.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell by the
Let's
whole
move on from
artwork thing. Okay. Dio, any interests, hobbies?
Oh, gaming as well.
Well, I guess that includes one of them. I am, I could admit, I'm fairly boring. But yeah, gaming, what we're doing now, like it counts a hobby. Um, I could say I'm
What you're doing now.
mildly, but
Huh? Sorry. Go ahead, love.
anyway, I would say I'm mildly good at the piano. No, I will not play for any of you right now.
I want you to play the Max Payne
Disaster.
theme. Moonlight Sonata. Moonlight Sonata right now. It's easy.
Not gonna. I guess I like exercise, aerobics.
Aerobics?
triathlon.
You like aerobics?
Not aerobics. Yeah. Well, yes, technically. Running, swimming, cycling. I've actually done it technically competitively for all three. Uh,
Hmm.
yes,
That's cute.
but yeah. Other than that, like, shoot, I'm boring.
I don't think you're that
No, you're
boring.
not. Come on.
I mean, I don't have anything interesting. Like that's me summed up.
I guess we'll move on to me. Hobbies. I like to say I have quite a few video games. Obviously, one of them I've been playing video games since the moment I was able to hold a
I've been
controller.
playing video games with you too.
Um, but that one's pretty common, I think. I guess all my hobbies are pretty common. I play guitar. I'm not too great at it, but I've been doing it for about 2.5, 3 years now, somewhere around that time frame. I enjoy it. I think the cool thing is being able to come up with your own song. You know, put chords together and learn to play your own style. That's definitely where most of the fun comes in when playing guitar. It's cool to learn like riffs and stuff and like stuff that is already out there and that you can just look up and learn really quickly and then practice it till you get good at it. But once you learn to kind of create your own stuff and have your own style, that is definitely a very cool part of playing guitar.
Yeah.
And it's worth the wait.
You know Jimi Hendrix, right?
Yeah, no, of course. Who doesn't know Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, well, he had his own style, and everybody's remembering it, even though he died at a young age of 27.
Yep.
You could be that person. I mean, not the dying at 27.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Okay,
Good
yeah,
lord.
no, that'd be pretty bad. But another hobby of mine, something I don't think even you know yet, is I was actually really into what I guess you could call speed cubing. Basically solving Rubik's cubes in as short of amount of time as possible. Uh, I just got obsessed with it at some point in middle school. I've been
12
doing it
fingers count.
been doing it for about eight years now. I'd say I'm pretty good. I can solve a 3x3 in anywhere around the range of 20 to 30 seconds around there. My best time was 18 point something seconds. I can't quite remember the exact time, but yeah.
Someone did it in my class with what is it, 16 by 16, which is absolutely insane. He did that in about 45
16
seconds.
by
But we
16.
only had him for 1 year.
That is actually insane. So the
He had-
highest. Go ahead.
He had smaller cubes on the outside and bigger cubes on the inside. It was insane. I swear to God, watching that thing made me literally just. He was like,
Yeah, so once I got hooked on it, I mean, I started learning a bunch of other ones. I ended up learning how to solve a 2x2 after the 3x3, a little bit easier, moving on to stuff like the 4x4, the 5x5. The biggest one I've solved is a 7x7, which I currently have one now. I just haven't brought it out in a while, but I can solve one of those in roughly 15 minutes. I'm still pretty slow when it comes to that because I still don't use any advanced techniques for that one. But 3x3, yeah, I've been practicing and learning that one for quite a long time. Of all the ones I've
if
solved.
you ever get a video, send it to Dial. I'll have him put it in one of the podcasts.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, probably one of the craziest ones I want to say I've solved.
I didn't mean Dial, sorry.
I've solved a bunch of different wacky ones. There's one called just the X cube, which is where it's a 3 by 3, except all of the layers except for one extend out one, so it looks kind of like an X or a little plus, and it shape shifts, and it's really hard to wrap your head around the way how you solve it and everything. Yeah, but I've been doing that for quite a long time. I'd say I'm pretty decent. I have a pretty fair knowledge on a bunch of the different Rubik's cubes. Now the Ghost cube, maybe one day I'll buy one and learn how to solve it, but that one's hard. It's really hard. Um, because it has no colors on any of the sides or anything. It's solved based on shape.
Symbols.
Nope, shape.
Oh yeah.
It shape shifts and like things get all like just wonky. I'll show you a picture of one someday and then you'll understand. But it's really difficult.
Okay. Okay. It must be hard on your hands.
Not really. I mean, when you're learning how to like speed cube, which is like, learning how to flick the cube properly, it all comes down to muscle memory after a certain point. Like I don't have to think about, which way I'm gonna have to turn it or anything. I just have all the algorithms memorized. I see a specific pattern. I use the algorithm for that pattern to, get to the next step in the solve, and yeah, pretty quick at it. I'd like to say so anyway.
That's sweet, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh no, next topic.
Okay. Our next topic is, would you look at that, music, genres of music.
Oh, we're doing genres.
Or just music in
What's your
general.
favorite
I
artist?
really don't care. My favorite artist. Well, I'm kind of
Okay.
biased on this one, but I mean, it means a lot to me in particular. But Chris Cornell with Audioslave um, passed away in. God, I can't even remember the year
You
that he
didn't say
passed
who
away.
passed away.
Chris Cornell, the singer for Audioslave.
Chris Cornell passed away.
Yeah, he passed away quite a while ago. Uh,
Oh no, I didn't know that.
yeah, but that one has also a lot of
That
personal.
hurts.
I have a lot of personal reasons that I like that. You know why? I've told you. It's pretty rough, but
If you're not comfortable, don't say.
he has a great singing voice, and I listen to it very often still. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost as iconic as the singer for Red Hot Chili Peppers at this point.
Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Any like classic rock, I listen to grunge, alternative, anything in those genres is generally what I listen to. I listen to like
Yeah,
R&B and hip hop, eh, somewhat, a little bit. Not too much. I got a whole playlist. I mean, I listen to a lot of songs like pop and stuff, but meh, it's whatever.
I'm gonna take it on me for me.
Yep, you're next.
Oh God, what don't I like? I don't like hip hop, R&B, or rap, but I do like rock, especially rock, heavy metal. Every rock, heavy metal, sometimes death metal if I feel like I'm angry enough.
Oh, really? You listen to death metal?
I like
I have quite a bit of death metal
sometimes
in
yeah.
some
Well,
playlists.
since my dad's a tattoo artist, that's kind of what he had on all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like the last one would be kind of like old pop, I guess. Not like Brit Spears stuff like that. I feel like when pop was a weird mix of 80s and techno, I guess.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much what it. But I think my favorite singer is had my two favorite singers has both the same name, which is confusing. Billy Joel and Billy Idol. I love
Yeah.
Billy Idol came out with the new song. We cannot sample it, but he came out with a few with the Roadside EP. But it was really good. I remember listening to it with you and our editor. But it really works. It really works. So, shoulda left me way back. Shoulda left me way back by the roadside. Hello, hello, goodbye. There's a million ways to die. That's kind of how it goes without sampling the actual song.
All right, Dio.
Well, the genre-wise, like, I don't really have honestly any preferences. Like, honestly, yeah, I'm just if it got a good beat, I'll groove to it. I'll find a way to groove to it. Like, so, like, I don't really mind, what I'm listening to. No, kind of, guess, universal.
He's a variety boy. He
I'm
likes a little
variety
bit of
boy.
everything.
Yes, I do believe he did talk
Yeah,
about at
yeah.
one point that he does listen to quite a wide variety. What do you find yourself listening to the most, though? Like songs you keep going back to?
I'll say the most thing that I've recently been going to is some of the stuff that Danny's been showing me as of recent.
Oh yeah, I've been showing you a lot. I've been showing both of you a lot. I don't think
So
we
you
need
might
to sing
have,
Wonderwall though.
Wonderwall? Oh man, we listen to that song more often than I think we need to. Of music,
I'll never throw it back to you.
music is a lot of creative geniuses out there when it comes to music, and music just resonates with the soul. It's a
Soundtracks
beautiful
for
thing.
soundtracks for video games and movies can be
Oh,
good, but
big time.
video games sometimes they just don't give a shit about because it's a video game. People want to slice through. But if you get to something like Metal Gear Rising or Vengeance, I really like the soundtrack in that one. Especially I know what theme everyone's thinking about when I say that. The final boss theme. It's like doom, 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 doom. Standing here, I realize you are just like me, trying to make history. It
Right.
goes like that. But violence breeds violence.
So our next topic is going to be the future of VR. What do you think lies in the future for virtual reality?
Hopefully not Mark Zuckerberg. That's
Yeah, let's not
good
leave
lord.
the
He messes
future
up everything.
of something as that has as much potential as virtual reality to somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, God forbid.
Facebook changed its name to Meta. You know they're gonna start rebranding the headsets as what was it? Meta Quest 2?
Really? Like that's gonna be the new one that
Yes,
comes out, or they're just gonna call like the Quest 2s the Meta Quest
No,
2?
they're just gonna rebrand it that.
Huh. Okay.
So keep your Quest 2 boxes so that you won't be ashamed that you got a headset called Meta Quest 2.
Okay.
Don't know why they're changing the Oculus name. They just are. Even though Oculus is actually a pretty smart name considering its origin.
Yeah.
You don't know its origin.
No, I don't. But Oculus was the first the first big what do I want to say, innovation to virtual reality for sure. Like the Oculus
Unfortunately,
or the Oculus Rift, the original Rift when that came out, was probably the biggest step I think in my opinion. Yeah, as far as the future of VR is concerned, I think like as graphics improve and technology improves, there's definitely a lot of potential when it comes to VR. I mean, you think of things. Don't laugh at me when I say this. You think of things like Sword Art Online, where you have a headset that actually taps into your brain, and instead of just displaying it into a headset, it's literally putting you in your mind into a body in an actual virtual world. And if we get to a point like that, or yeah, like Tron, that's a good example. But actually being able to, go into a different world and interact with things as you would in the real world, but obviously, since it's a form of virtual reality, augmented reality, you'd be able to interact with people and things just like you do in the real world, just obviously can do a lot more than you would normally be able to do in the real world and make it
Can we
a
just talk about how sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
have you heard about the well, you know about the Valve Index, right?
Yeah.
You can move every little finger, just
Yep.
that's awesome, dude. And how I feel like the Oculus has taken steps back as well as steps forward, especially with these lenses. They suck. On the
Oh,
Quest 2, I'm wearing the Quest 2.
sweet Jesus.
They're awful.
They're a cheap alternative to actual normal lenses because they didn't want to spend as much money. So instead of having the normal lens that you normal have or would normally have in a VR headset, they have these like rings that your eyes have to be in a specific position to see clearly. Otherwise, it's just super blurry. But I forget what it's called and like how it works, but basically it uses less glass. You don't have to have the same like curvature, which is harder to make on a glass lens as uh, the other virtual reality headsets do. So that's why the Quest 2 is garbage. But I mean, hey, good for them at remaking a lens, I guess. I don't know.
And making it a lot cheaper, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a better cheap alternative.
That's the one
They
thing
bought it for me.
that I think they did do good is they made it a whole lot more accessible to people who don't have the money to be spending on these really expensive VR headsets and having to buy these trackers where they have to like mount these sensors on the wall and everything. Um, and you're still able to go in and you won't get as good of an experience obviously because quality difference, but it's affordable and it's a good way to experience VR for somebody who's never done it before for sure.
Right. But VR chat's a different, different story. Can't use that. You can't see this guy. Like,
Yeah.
there is a URL thing on this laptop right here.
Very,
Cannot touch it. I'm on
very
Quest.
limited to what you can do using an Oculus Quest. But
Yeah, oh god, so many things.
but yeah, it's definitely big. It gets a lot more people on the platform, I think, when it comes to VR. Even in VR chat, you might be limited a lot in what you can do and things like that in VR chat, but it's still like there's so many more players now in VR chat, I think, than there were because so many people can afford the headsets now, which means you're gonna have a lot more Quest users. So if you like the PC only skins, it's gonna complicate things because people are just gonna see your fallbacks. But I mean,
And yeah, because I see like 30 fallbacks in a single server every time. There's that one guy, and I'm like, hey, could you just put on a Quest only avatar? They're like, no. Sorry, all mines have too high polygons. That's really a problem they need to fix, bro.
yeah, I agree with you on that.
I guess they fixed it with fallbacks. Just it's annoying, you know.
Yeah, I
PC
mean,
players think they're hot shit.
hey man, I'm technically a
Us
Quest
sad
user
Quest
though.
players.
But I mean, you get the link cable.
Using a Quest on a computer.
You get the link cable. You can get an upgraded experience where you actually get to interact and do the things that you can normally do on PC. I think that's cool. Is the fact that you're still able to run it off your PC and get a better experience and play the PC VR games through your Quest. It's just if you don't mind going out and
Right.
spending an extra $60 on a freaking expensive ass link cable.
That and you gotta have PC ready, a VR ready computer, right?
Yeah, so
I have a
you,
shitty ass laptop.
you're gonna have to have the proper graphics card and set up on a PC to actually run the stuff. But I
What do you
mean,
mean I can't have my 2001 Dell laptop?
hey, but I mean, PC gaming is it's pretty,
Getting better.
it's
I
good
hope.
stuff. It's good stuff, especially with the new graphics cards. They can run freaking anything, and I need a PC upgrade now so that way this game can be miles better because it's just can't. My graphics card can't handle the shaders. I got a 1660 Ti in my computer, but
Oh,
I'm trying to get that 3080 with my new PC build. It's gonna be great.
is the stream running okay?
Oh yeah, it's running fine. I don't think you're gonna get as good as like performance wise and like shaders and everything, but it'll run it just fine, 1080p 60 frames. So I think we can move on to the next one, which is the one we've all been waiting for, and probably the one we're gonna spend the most time on this topic: favorite video game consoles. Good one.
Oh, are you starting on me?
Oh yeah, let's start on you.
Dreamcast.
Oh, so the
Have you
Dreamcast
heard
is your favorite.
Yeah. Dreamcast is my favorite, but I like the whole second line of products from Master System, Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast. They haven't, plus the Game Gear. Oh, I really like it. I grew up with I grew up playing Double Dragon 3, was it, on the NES, or not NES? I never had a Nintendo product before. I mean, I grew up with the 64 first, and I had Tony Hawk, Pro Skater, what, one or two, one of those, and we had what is it? Dave Mira Freestyle BMX on PS1.
Okay.
But about the 64, about the one I grew up with, it also had we had Smash Bros. So technically I grew up with it, but to be honest, I didn't really have that many good memories. Smash Bros is probably one of my least favorite properties that Nintendo creates. It feels like just a big cash grab where they can throw any characters in, not have to worry. They can appease everyone. But the Dreamcast, its controller is. It only has one analog stick,
Yeah.
but they have Resident Evil on it. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Resident Evil 2 and 3, sorry. And they are probably the best looking ports ever. if you don't count the expensive ass $80 GameCube ports, but I don't think they actually look better. I think it's just a port.
Yeah, ports can be
The Dreamcast version looks amazing, bro.
iffy.
But it will destroy your analog stick if you have to try and escape Nemesis, because you gotta go like this to your controller. And it is absolutely devastating to your analog sticks.
Jeez.
But to be fair, on the PS Vita and PSP re-release, they made it so that you'd only have to hit the buttons instead of the to the analog stick, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
They were actually thinking for once. Thanks, Capcom.
Thank you, Capcom, for being useful at least once in your life.
Yeah, instead of re-releasing Street Fighter in 30 different consoles. And
Jesus.
about the other part of the Dreamcast, they actually had the first one at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and they are the best ports. There's nothing about, maybe not 2, because Pro Skater 2X came out on the original Xbox. Did you know that the only reason the Dreamcast failed was because Sony lied about the PS2 specs?
I did not know that.
It was a bit too late to change. They said it would have 480 to 720 support. They said it was going to run at 60 frames. Who are you?
Oh. Can we help you? Alright, we have an unexpected guest. We have Sterling Sergel. Welcome to the podcast. I guess.
Come sit on the couch if you want to.
Come on, here. Secret guest.
Secret guest.
Secret guest, yeah. This is Sterling. I guess they'll just be listening.
Alright then. Well, anyway, I guess it's my turn to talk about favorite
I didn't
consoles.
finish with my Dreamcast.
Oh my
brand.
goodness. Alright. Alright, let's hear more about the
Memory
Dreamcast.
card doubled. Its memory card doubled as not only a memory card, it also doubled as a game system on its own called the VMU. When you're playing things like Sonic Adventure and stuff like that, you can have you can pick it up, play a little game out of it. It has to have a battery, of course, if you're pulling it out. You wouldn't know about pulling it, but you would be able to level up your chows in the Cow Garden.
Okay.
Shit like that by playing little mini games. And some things like Resident Evil, they put your health on the VMU and how many bullets you had, so you could look at it down like this. There's a hole in the middle of the controller where you could see the VMU. You'd just be like this and see how many bullets you had left in your gun. Stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Most games didn't utilize it, but when they did, it was awesome. And it only had 3 years support, and it was Sega's final console. Because the PS2 lied about its specs, and everybody wanted the PS2. When actually, the Dreamcast came out earlier and looked better. Everyone knows the PS2 looked like shit, but the Xbox and the Dreamcast look better.
Some people grew up on the PS2, man. I mean, hey, it's alright. Yeah. Beggars
People
can't
grew
be
up on it
choosers.
because they lied.
Yeah. Everybody and their mom had a PlayStation 2. Aggro.
What did you grow up with, Sterling? You said aggro. What did you grow up on?
What do you mean? I'm stupid, okay? Shut up.
What console did you grow up on?
Console?
Video game console.
PS2?
Oh, PS2. Okay.
PS2.
There you go.
Oh, Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color, that one too.
Game Boy
Game
Color.
Boy Color. I actually had Doom for Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. Game Boy Advance. That's the one I had. Original Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Pokemon. Oh man.
I've only ever had Minish Cap for Zelda.
Played like
Games
Pokemon
we're
Emerald.
gonna do next
I had-
podcast. I got a whole shelf full of them right there. We're gonna get to you. We'll get to you eventually, Silent Hill. We'll get to you. By Jacob's Ladder.
Alright, Dio. What about you? What console did you grow up on, my friend?
Well, I would say the consoles that I grew up with, well, not console, but it is specifically the Wii of all things.
The Wii.
Like,
The
I
Wii.
remember- Yes, the Wii. I remember I spent a lot of time playing. Either it was two things I had. It was freaking the Wii Sports and a bootleg version of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Not like bootleg that is not like an actual. Not it was the same game, but it was on like a burnt disc that I got from one of my uncles.
Well, it would be your uncle that does something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, whenever I had any of my cousins come over, it was just me and Super Smash Bros. Brawl or the Wii Sports. Like that was what I did. Yeah, and so other than that, like I had like the Nintendo DS. But, like other than that, like it really shit, nothing much. I was a poor boy. Starting out.
I had a military 3DS or DS at one point. I was going for 3DS, but I decided to get the one with camo on it because at the time I thought the military was cool. Kill me now, but it was really cool.
Well, so it's like that. That's
But
how you
I was
feel.
going for 3DS.
It's okay. I understand. I'm just joking.
the
I
military.
know how you feel about the military. It's all good. It's all good.
Jacob's Ladder ruined it.
Not me though,
Just
right?
kidding, I already hated it.
Not me.
No, I love you.
I would hope
Did
so.
we even-
No, I don't think we covered that topic, but that's all right. Yeah.
You will.
So Nintendo Wii.
Clearly, Dio's my boyfriend.
Oh yes, clearly. The
Clearly. Totally not you or anything, you know.
oh man.
Imagine.
I love you. And here's the Danny fact for the day. Nintendo. Just Nintendo.
Well, then you're gonna hate me for this next one. Moving on to me, console that I grew up on that I probably enjoyed the most, the Nintendo GameCube. My. Such a wide variety of good games, and oh, it would appear that Danny got up and left during that one, even though he already knew this. Even though he already knew this about me. But I mean, I grew up playing like Kirby Air Ride, Zelda Legend of the Wind Waker, just games I had so much fun playing. And I honestly, I can't really hate on the Wii either, just because it's reverse compatible. And so when my GameCube broke,
The original model.
the original model. So when it broke, I would use the Wii to play my GameCube games on because that was the thing that you can do. But yeah, a lot of good
Yes, but
games.
it's specifically the game era of it and the controller. Ooh, the
Just
controller.
a lot of memorable games. Even like Super Monkey Ball, I played that game a whole bunch. Believe Resident Evil 4 was on the GameCube too. So
Right, I have it on VR right now, but I also have it. We grew up with it on PS2,
gotcha.
and that was it. Oh, we didn't get any other port till late, so we were missing out entirely. We're missing out a lot. You know how many ports of Resident Evil 4 there were? Way too many. they uploaded it to iPods. Fucking they had an RPG.
An RPG version of the game. Oh,
Uh-huh.
jeez.
That might be Silent Hill, but that would be like a visual novel is what I meant.
Okay. But yeah, I remember playing like a couple of the 007 games on the GameCube, For Honor,
Oh
just
yeah.
just to name a
I
few.
also grew up with some 007.
Yeah.
I grew up with GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which is
Yep.
hated by everyone
Yep.
except for me. GoldenEye Rogue Agent. It's a sequel,
Yeah.
kind of. The only reason it's called GoldenEye is because there's just a guy with a golden eye that you play as. You don't even play as James Bond, but it has one of the most fun multiplayer modes, if not the best multiplayer mode I've ever played in existence. As I grew up from Russia with Love, that was a very good James Bond game. That
Yep.
was awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, GameCube. Also, just to add on to the Wii, when they added Guitar Hero World Tour, I played the living crap out of that game. Guitar Hero is great. Couldn't get enough of it. Countless
I
hours.
grew up on Guitar Hero 3.
For anybody who watches this, thank you for tuning in and joining us. I had a lot of fun here, and I plan to do hopefully
you.
quite a few more of these. I enjoyed it. Just sit around, talk about
I
things.
enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. See ya.